Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion and beauty. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, palette recommendations, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. All right, you guys, I have been wanting to do this video for quite a while. I think I first got the idea whenever spoiler alert for one of the palettes in this video, when I got the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette and was testing it out, doing looks, I thought immediately this would make a perfect wedding palette. And I have since recommended it. Anytime I see someone sharing it, I'm like, oh, it's the perfect wedding palette. And I thought it would be a good idea to do a video of all the palettes in my collection that if I were getting married tomorrow, I would use this palette. Just, you know, palettes that would be perfect for wedding day. Now, it doesn't just have to be if you're looking for a wedding to watch this video. If you like neutral leaning palettes, soft tones, pinky tones, maybe even some smoky tones, you might like this video as well. So if you want to see the 10 palettes in my collection that I would use if I was getting married tomorrow, keep on watching. All right, let's just go ahead and start with what is on my eyes today, because this whole look, I would get married in this look in a heartbeat. So on the eyes, I actually have two palettes that are in my recommendations and that I would possibly use that I combined. So first up, we have the Il Makiage Color Boss Master Palette. So it's just a little 8-pan, very neutral, but you do have a deep smoky tone in here, matte, that you can smoke out, or you could keep it light. Definitely a warmer leaning neutral palette. But I love Il Makiage for, I always say this, if you've heard me talk about Il Makiage, you've heard me say this before. If not, this will be new to you. They are not the most over the top, right away, just, oh wow, this formula is amazing, stand out. But anytime I use this, it is such a kind of like perfected, effortless, professional looking look. I always say that this is like a red carpet type of look, because oftentimes, unless they're going for something more avant-garde or ostentatious, which isn't usually the case for red carpet, it's usually subtle. It looks like obviously a professional did their makeup, and that's the effect that this gives, which I think is perfect for a wedding day. So I do have on a few mattes in here. These two I have on, I believe that's it. Oh, these two, and then I do have this shimmer right here in the brow bone, but in conjunction with another palette that I'm so excited to share, because nobody ever shares this brand and I find it so fun. So this is ZC Cosmetics. This was one of their British Museum collabs that they did, Alice in Wonderland themed. This packaging already to me just says wedding day if you're into pink. It has definitely that like coquettish girl, the girly girl trend that's going on right now. But this is the We're All Mad Here palette. And I love how, I don't know if you guys can see, but how the glitter moves in the front of this palette. So fun. But here is the inside. So obviously a very pink leaning palette with a few neutrals in here. But what's also great is the blushes are so good. So pretty. So this one right here that has the flamingo print with kind of a mauve and then the brighter pink, that's what I'm wearing today. And I think this is a perfect wedding day blush. It is so pretty. And what's kind of neat about how it has the split tone is if you just kind of run your brush in it, it kind of automatically gives you an ombre effect, which is really, really neat. And then on the eyes, I have these, actually both mattes. So this one and this one here. And then let me go ahead and just swatch the shimmers on my fingers that I have on my eyes. The marbled one in here, this one is so pretty. It's what's in my inner corner. So here they are. Beautiful wedding type of tones. And then let me swatch them on my hand. Now, okay, here we go. just really, really pretty for a wedding day. It's not so much picking up that sparkle in this one that's in the inner corner, but it has all sorts of little different colors in there. It has like a pink, a blue, a silver sparkle. It is so, so pretty. And a lot of times people think that, you know, makeup that is more like from China, Korea, things like that are going to be more just ethereal and less pigmented. And a lot of them are, but these mattes have pigment, and so do the blushes in here. And then the shimmers are that really just kind of sparkly, soft, ethereal, which I think is perfect for wedding day. So if you guys haven't checked out ZC, I do recommend them. I really like this brand. Okay, speaking of the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism Palette, so here she is. I love this packaging. I think it's so, so, so pretty. And then here's the color story inside. And this just screams wedding day for me. The only thing that it's kind of missing is if you wanted to do a smoky kind of gray look for your wedding day. You do have a black matte in here, so you can smoke it out, but you're smoking out more of a warmer tone neutral or a pinky tone, a rosy tone in here. I love these shimmers though. They're very squishy and so pretty on the eye, very, very flattering. The last thing that you would want would be, you know, like creasing on the lids on your wedding day. And these really do not crease. So here they are on the hand, just very, very shiny, very easy to wear. If you're not looking for something crazy over the top, you just want that really pretty soft makeup look, then I do recommend this. Plus the mattes are not like insanely pigmented, but they do build nicely, which I think is also kind of perfect for a wedding day palette. You don't want to go in and be like, whoa, this is so pigmented. Now it's not blending out. Now I look like a troll getting married. Like, nobody wants that. So I just think it's a perfect wedding palette. Obviously, I cannot do this video without mentioning the new Sydney Grace and Kendra Matthews Unveiled palette. I have a video on this where I did 3 looks, and here she is. And honestly, I really think this is a perfect wedding palette. The only thing somewhat missing, and I talk about this in my video of this, is a really light, like champagne shimmer. You do have this light pink one here that's really, really pretty. And I think it kind of works really with any of the mattes here, but I still kind of wish there was a champagne shimmer in here. But you do have a really light bone matte that you can pop in the inner corner. I did do that whenever I used this row to do a smoky eye, and it worked great. This palette was designed to do a light pink, rosy kind of look, a warm tone neutral, and a smoky, but you can mix and match any of these obviously as you want. And I mean, honestly, these two are just, I mean, they are perfect for a wedding day. Now, another palette that whenever I did my video on it and created 2 looks, I also said this could be a wedding palette, and it is the I Need a Nude palette from Natasha Denona. Again, it's just kind of quintessential, easy, beautiful, soft glam that's perfect for your special day. Natasha Denona has amazing mattes that blend beautifully, seamlessly, very professionally. A little bit different than the Il Maquillage, how I was saying they look so effortless on the eyes. These are a little bit more pigmented, so it looks beautiful once it's all blended in, but maybe takes a little bit more work because they are slightly more pigmented, but still these tones are pretty much light enough in here where you don't have to work too hard. The only thing is you only have one really deeper shade to deepen up that would have to be this brown. Otherwise, you're looking at a pretty light, pretty mid-toned look here, but a lot of times people aren't going really heavy and deep on a wedding day anyway. But if you want to deepen it up, you would just have to work up this brown here. But you have the gorgeous shimmers in here that are just going to like hit that light oh, in pictures, this palette would be so pretty on the eyes. You do have more of taupey tones in here and a little somewhat pinky, but it's more of like a taupe sort of palette. So you're not going to really get, you know, grays out of here. You're not going to get too many pinks out of here. You have to kind of be on the taupe front, but it is a beautiful palette and it looks beautiful on. Okay, next we have a really affordable palette, and that is the Buxom Cosmetics Endless Moonlight palette. And here is what she looks like. And honestly, if this row was maybe moved over to the middle or kind of mixed up with this row and this was pink, it would kind of remind me of the Sydney Grace. Let me just show you guys side by side because it's kind of laid out in a similar fashion. You see how this one is missing the pinky tones, but it has that one bottom row that's more smoky tones, then it's got your warmer neutrals, and then you're just missing the pinks in here. But this is a stunning palette for the price. It also looks really beautiful on. It blends beautifully. Moira's formula is very, very easy to use and it doesn't cost a lot of money. I was comparing this one way back whenever the Makeup by Mario palette came out. It was all the craze. I was like, you know, it's not that far off from this palette. It wasn't a dupe situation, but it was a, hey, if you feel left out, if you can't afford the Makeup by Mario, consider this because you can basically get a lot of the similar looks in here. And I love that you have this smoky row for my smoky toned wedding gals. All right, next up we have one that is, I think it totally can work. And then it also brings in, if you're someone who needs a little bit of earthiness to your neutrals as well. It is the Nearly Neutral palette by Glaminatrix Cosmetics. And I adore this palette so much. It is a very interesting take on a neutral palette. You do have some like mauves and browns in here. Really, this row right here is kind of more of your traditional shades that you could use. But then, oh gosh, this like shimmery champagne pink is so gorgeous too. So is this one. This will be like for the brides who want a little bit more of interest to the eyes. Like maybe they want a shift where their pictures are like, wait, is that pink or is that silver? Is that gold? Is that pink? This could be for you. And then also maybe you're someone that greens look so good on you and you want to go more of like a neutral green for your wedding look. I think it would be beautiful for like an outdoor garden wedding to do a soft olive green look or like a mauve and green olive look. I think would be so pretty. So I could see a world where I would wear this on my wedding day. I don't know about you, but I sure would. All right, so I was looking through my mothership palettes, my Pat McGrath motherships. And it was weird because I thought, oh, for sure one of those is a wedding palette. But really, they really kind of weren't. I mean, like the first couple are a little bit more grungy, which I wish she would go back to doing that so bad. And then when you get into the pinks, like Divine Rose 2 and even Utopian, they just didn't give me wedding vibes though. So I was like, well, maybe not. But I do have this little 5-pan. This is the Celestial Nirvana eyeshadow palette, Nude Allure. And what you're missing in here is the mattes, but otherwise I could see this color story for a wedding look. So, you know, maybe this is a companion palette. You would bring in some other mattes, but if you are, maybe you don't want a whole matte look. Maybe you want just one matte and you want it simple, kind of deepen up the eye, and then you just want like sparkly, then you could definitely use a palette like this. Like I think these two shades here with the matte would be really pretty. Not too far off from what I have going on right now. It's just missing kind of that warmer matte that I have on my eyes. But yeah, I was kind of surprised. I mean, let me know if you think I don't have Divine Rose 1. That might be the one that would have been better for a wedding palette. But all the rest of them I just didn't think would really work. Okay, this is, it may be kind of reaching, but I don't think so. So the Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette. Yes, you have some colors in here that you probably wouldn't use for your wedding day, but I think if you kind of like close your eyes and open them and try not to see the purple and the blue in here, I think this absolutely works. Now it's cooler toned for sure. And I just think like, especially right here, but you take out the blue, you've got like some mauves in here, you've got taupes, you have your browns, you have this row if you want to smoke out, deepen up, you have your shimmers, and you have a lot to play with here. And I was like, you know what? Like if I was getting married tomorrow and someone just threw me this palette and say, hey, this is a palette you're going to use, I'd be like, cool. Yeah, I could see it. It would work. So maybe not the palette everyone would think of, but I do think of it. And the last one, I think this would be beautiful for a wedding day, is the Rose Quartz palette by Huda Beauty. I love this palette. I adore it. I think it's so, so pretty. I think it's pretty year round, but especially like a winter wedding. Oh, it would be so pretty. I'm imagining, you know, like the theme, and maybe there's like fake snow, or maybe there is like a real snowy background, and you have some of these like bluer, purpley toned shimmers that aren't like blue, purple to look crazy, but you've got like the soft muted mauves and just that like ethereal kind of shifty shimmer. Ugh, I think it would be so, so pretty. I would love to know if anyone has used this as their wedding palette, or if you know anyone that has. If so, leave me a comment, because I was just like, if I hate winter, I would not want, well, I say wouldn't want to get married in winter. I got married February 14th. I'm just going to start saying that instead of Valentine's Day. But I was in Mexico. It was a destination wedding, and it was really, really warm. But if I had to get married in a cold climate in the winter, this might be the one that I would choose, actually. All right, you guys, that is the 10 palettes in my collection that I would wear if I was getting married again, married tomorrow. Let me know what palette you used. I used MAC singles whenever I got married, and it was beautiful. But I mean, it would be so fun to just imagine a world where I was getting remarried to my husband and what palette I would use. So let me know what you used. Let me know if you agree with these. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping. Bye.